day, good day. Welcome to Words of Wisdom. Thank you for joining me. I wanted to come on and do a little bit of a chat with you guys, a little bit of a reading. I was being called. There's the energy, here it comes. I just felt like it was really important for me to be able to give you some information today, the day after our portal. I'm not sure if any of you have experienced what I experienced today, but certainly going out, walking with the dogs in the woods today, I felt like the colors, the greenery, the sort of light was just so bright. And I often feel that after a portal, it's like you step into this new sort of vision almost. It was very strong. It was beautiful today. So I really wanted to just come on board and just say hi to you guys and give you a little bit of a reading about our weekend, what we can have as guidance. We always ask, but I'm starting off with the fact that I did the daily card, which I do put on the shorts, and it was the Chamber of Manifestation was our daily card today. And that's how I really felt like, going through that portal yesterday, set your intentions, plant your seeds. It's about new beginnings, being ready for the new growth, getting over that last little part of the transformation, regeneration, rebirth stage, with the shift that has happened all this week. So it's very appropriate that this card came out this morning, the Chamber of Manifestation. But alongside it came these cards as well. And so I've kept them on my table, very magical. The Burning Rose, and alongside came the Chamber of Protection. So I feel like, this release, the things that the past, the situations, all of these things that really have the pain that we've gone through, the changes, all of that, we've been protected, we've been guided very much towards this next stage. If you trust and you believe that, stay listening to this reading. If you don't have a clue, cooking clue, you're not interested, scroll on by, because honestly, this is for people that are really ready for that manifestation of change. And really, we're in that Chamber of Manifestation. That was the card this morning. And I just love the actual card itself, the way that this light is coming down right into her body. And I felt that very much today when I was having that walk, this light everywhere. It was just spectacular light. So we'll have a little read of them, and then on the bottom of the deck was the end is also the beginning. And the reason why I mean they sort of, when I was shuffling this morning and these came out, and then they said look at the bottom. I've kept this bottom card because this is like our portal right now, and the 12/12 portal will be very strong for the next couple of days. So over this weekend you will feel this significant energetic shift. Go with it, go with the flow of it, go with it. Have a look for your sign synchronicities. Let yourself be guided wherever you need to be. So, and then I looked at my calendar message today, just a confirmation again. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. A dream is, after all, a kind of plan. So this is where we're at right now. I feel it in my bones. I feel this very strength within me of courage and opportunity coming to me. Opening up something new, and it's about really trusting in that unknown. So I'm going to read for you the Chamber of Manifestation. What dream does your soul have that you'd like to bring to life? This card often appears when something you've been dreaming into being is coming into form or has arrived. It could involve a relationship, a job, a creation, a change in your life. Your vision and action are about to be rewarded, and now or very soon you'll get to enjoy the fruit. Don't put off the celebration and enjoyment of the fruit. Receive and relish it fully. Enjoy your creations when they're here and resist rushing on to the next thing. There's no rush. For if you can't enjoy what you've been working towards creating, what's even the point? So how can you embrace your existing creations fully? How can you celebrate and be grateful for what you already have? Receive and celebrate the fullness of what you've created before moving on to anything else. The key to calling in more enjoyment is to enjoy the process. Spring teaches us this, with its buds so full of promise and the surging energy so full of life and possibility. The energy of a new moon holds these promising seeds too. Create space in your life to whisper your wildest dreams under the light of the new moon. Do it from a place of being in the joy of the present moment. Enjoy each part of the process of your becoming. For if you don't, by the time your manifestation comes into form, you may find that you miss the moment completely because of being so consumed by what you want to manifest next. So what do you most want to create in your life? And how can you be grateful for the present moment as you do so? Powerful, powerful. So yes, and we have a new moon coming up very shortly, my friends. So again, new moon is about those intentions, seeds. Plant your seeds of intentions, plant your seeds of what's next for you on your journey, what it is, how easy it's going to be to walk into 2026 feeling empowered. That's my intention. That's what I want. Be very clear of this last new moon that's coming along. We're going to read the Burning Rose. Where is it? The Burning Rose is a symbol of sacred rage, of anger alchemized into something creative, into passion, not destruction. We tend to see anger and rage as something we should avoid, as if expressing these emotions is to be avoided or even wrong, as if anger is something that should be controlled and restrained. Boys are taught that their anger is dangerous, and women that their rage is feminine. Women who have the courage to harness their anger are often accused of being crazy and unstable, but this stops the flow of passion and the ferocious urge of the feminine to protect what's sacred. Anger or rage is often a reflection of what's important to us. It can be a signpost to our boundaries or lack thereof. It can be a guiding light, revealing what we most truly care for, long for, or wish to protect. It can also hold within it the codes of our true passion and purpose. But we must do the job of listening to our anger and offering it a safe space to be released and expressed. When we repress something, there's always a consequence. It might fester in the body and make us sick. It might paralyze us and prevent us from living passionately, or it might be expressed in ways that are physically, mentally, and emotionally harmful to others. Alchemizing anger in positive ways and using it to create rather than repress or negatively destroy is some of the holiest work there is. So your soul inquiry is, what do you feel angry or frustrated about? Can you transform that anger into passion by changing your focus from what you're against to what you're for? So very important, the passion, the fire within, it's alchemizing, it's coming forth. You're manifesting something. I'll share a story with you shortly once we've gone through these cards. And then we get back to another chamber of protection. So know that whatever is coming about, it is for your protection. Don't place your attention outside yourself. Focus it within. The more you look to external sources to guide, nourish, validate, or affirm you, the more likely you'll feel off kilter. Draw your strength, your guidance, your truth, your worth from inside. If you draw your sense of safety from outside yourself, you'll forever be defending yourself in the outer world. Many see energetic protection as a sort of defense, something they need to be wary of. But if you take looking after your sacred space into your own hands, you get to decide who enters it, much like the guard bee, a natural-born protector who decides who will enter the sacred space of the hive. Sometimes this card appears when you're being called to renegotiate your boundaries with places and people, which really means redefining your definition of sacred space. This card can also appear when you've become overstimulated by the energy of other people and may have been drawing your sense of self from outside rather than within. The Chamber of Protection is an invitation to resource yourself. You can do this by connecting with Source and the Earth and doing whatever you need to do to replenish it and take care of your own needs. To give from a place of plenty, not of a place of depletion and lack. That's how resentment builds and boundaries become blurry. You're being called to tend to your energy and energetically prioritize yourself. To stop feeling like you owe anyone anything more than you owe yourself. Drop the guilt, take personal responsibility and put your needs first. You get to define what your sacred space is and who is permitted to enter. And that's really very important. You're being protected within you. You're protecting yourself when you get angry. You're protecting other people. I do it. I said it the other day on one of my readings, with my children. I'm very protective. And over my parents, my family, I'm a very protective, loyal person. People I love, I protect. And sometimes it can come out in a form of anger, but that anger can be transmuted into a passion of change and making people stand up and listen. And I had a very interesting situation the other day coming from the yard. I had to literally, control my anger, but I showed I was standing up for myself when they blocked the road leaving our yard and I couldn't get past and they were digging up the road. I was like, no, stop. You cannot do that to people. This is, that we need to have this. And they actually stopped the job. So it was a very strong, powerful way. I magically alchemized the situation to the benefit of not only me, but everybody living in the road and all the owners that come to the yard to sort out their horses early morning or late at night need the route, and so that was very important for me. So these things happen, and today I had a little bit of a trigger, and as I was walking along, I met up with one of my friends, and she was talking about the situation with her mother and how her mother made her so angry, and her mother was this, but her mother has got Alzheimer's and is really is battling, and she doesn't understand what she's doing, and sometimes you forget that and you get that anger. And my friend was like, oh, yes, I should have realized that or whatever, but I just couldn't go down and see her today because I need to calm down. And you need to see it from a different perspective. That's what you need to do. And when she walked away, I thought about that. I thought, all right, I need to see. My mother triggered me this morning. And then I thought, you know what? I actually did get a message the other day from one of the readers that I listened to. And she was saying, sometimes the shadow the guidance was that Spirit is saying you don't have to always lean into a shadow and think that you need a lesson from it. Sometimes you can just take the shadow and go, right, fine, that's it, done. And not adjust anything. Just keep it within yourself and alchemize the energy into a different viewpoint. I did exactly that today. And I was like, bingo. I absolutely do not I'm not triggered at all, because I don't need to be triggered because I've healed that. And even though it's the very thing that probably used to trigger me, I don't need to allow it to now because I've healed. And so I took that moment and I looked at it and my mother's not going to change. She's going to say what she's going to say. There we are. I can choose. So that is very important to recognize. So the end is also the beginning. The end is also the beginning. And we're going to read that as well. The end is also the beginning. Where is this one? I haven't seen this one before, so it's quite a nice one. The end is the beginning, and the beginning is also the end. Morning is on the other side of mourning. M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G. Healing is on the other side of feeling. Rebirth is on the other side of death. Everything in this world begins again if you have the courage to let it properly end. Life is always trying to initiate us into who you're becoming. It's nature's way, and it always involves change. Change is the one constant in life. Nature is the greatest mystery school there is. The snake knows. The rosehip does too. We need to surrender what once was to one day be reborn anew. Change can be scary, for it means surrendering to the unknown and trusting in your rebirth by letting go of once was, to being not who you were and not quite who you'll soon become. See, I told you. It requires us to trust in the transformation, for we're always transforming, to trust in the death for the rebirth to occur. The more we resist change, the further away we get from who we're becoming. The more we resist change, the more disconnected from life force and life we become. When we embrace change, we embrace life and nature and are forever becoming. It's what the soul came here for. It's the bridge of spirit and matter. Your soul came here to truly live. And so the soul inquiry is, what are you being called to release in order to start something new? So I know a few of you on here are busy going to this very moment, this releasing and feeling it, pulling it, and really trying to alchemize something into that release completely. And all I can tell you is how I've done it myself. And even today with that little story I told you, that sort of moment, it's just about honestly trusting and just, do you know what? It absolutely doesn't need to affect me. So I'm really trusting in spirit. You're trusting in spirit. You're trusting in your guidance. That's exactly where we need to be right now. That's it. Don't need to overthink it. Absolutely not. All right, I'm going to get our wisdom cards out because I do absolutely adore these cards. If I can find my book. Okay. Can we have some guidance, please, for the weekend for me and my wonderful people who listen? My one person, maybe more. Oh, we have got some cards out already. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. We're going to go with that. All right, let's see what we've got. We've got imagine. Imagine your manifestation. Imagine what you would look like. Imagine how you feel. You know, it's a beautiful card. I love the blue on this card. Okay. We've also got go the distance. All right. Very strong. You know, we're making this run. We have a higher power, and it's your higher power. I feel like, look at this card and this card together. Very, very similar. Okay. It's this knowing, this intuition, this guidance that we are getting. You're knowing this, you're feeling it. Like I said to you, you might feel that shift. And we've also got soulmates that has come out. So there is this shift. There's something, maybe you've got a soulmate, you know, it feels like love is coming in. This is a beautiful pink. Love is coming into your life in a very rapid movement now. It's, you know, the line is almost there. If you've been waiting for that, perhaps that's your manifestation. It is mine. So, you know, at the end of the day, all we can say is, you know, Spirit is saying you're manifesting because you've ended, because you've made space. This new, this wonderful opportunity can come. And this higher power, okay, is your knowing. You've called this in. And it's guiding this soulmate energy right now, this other person, this other situation, this new relationship, whatever it might be to you, coming in. It could just be about partnership of, you know, within a family dynamic, you know, it could be making amends with people. You know, it's Christmas time. We talk about families a lot at Christmas time. We want to be with our loved ones. So maybe that is also, but it's, you know, go the distance. It's ready. Look at the speed of a cheetah. Very strong, very quick. Okay. Right. Imagine. Turning imagination into manifestation. So think of the person that you would like to call into your life. Envision them. Think about what they would be like, how you would feel. If on Christmas you got a phone call or somebody arrived or you got a present from somebody you love, or just feel that energy and embrace it. Know it's meant for you because it's time. The power of aligning our imagery and feelings. So who do you want to be? What do you need to believe in order to have the life you want? If you can dream it, you can create it. Spend time dreaming, fashioning a vision board, meditating. What you imagine will become your belief. In matters of the heart, it's easy to daydream about another as a means of connecting to that person. While that's romantic, if you want this relationship to be real, you need to go for it, not just dream about it. You're there. Run. Sprint towards, let it arrive, let it come. Don't you go chasing. No. Relationships are about relating. So step onto the dance floor where imagination partners with manifestation. The message of this card is that a person with attributes you have imagined will enter your life. You'll be changed for the better. Imagine that. Exactly. And then we have 47. Endurance, strength, and the long haul. You are either in or are calling in a harmonious relationship, a soulmate relationship. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs, break yourself and remade your new growth, you are being redeemed for the power of regeneration. That's amazing. Maybe this time next Christmas, this time next year, I'll be saying to you, look, remember what we were talking about. You never know. I'd love to hear from you guys if you suddenly arrive with your soulmate for Christmas. That would be amazing. I'd love to hear the story. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So beautiful. And then you have your soulmate, of course, always comes in. Lots of fours on the table. 4, 4, 4. You are protected. 41. 41. Consider love in the deepest sense, love so powerful that you will never be the same, regardless of how long your relationship lasts. Consider friendships and romantic bonds so compelling that they overwhelm you with gratitude, or break you open so you will finally claim who you are meant to be. Even a companion animal reminds you that it is you who is being rescued and healed. Pay attention, for you are in the presence of a soulmate, come to guide you home to the real you. That is beautiful. Someone's coming in, someone that you can imagine is exactly what you need, all of those wonderful attributes that you've asked for. And the higher power is seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. It's time to address how much effort you give to your relationship with your higher power called God, Goddess, Spirit, or any other name that is sacred and holy. Recognize that your partnership with Spirit is your number one priority, 100%. The appearance of this card also indicates there's a deep spiritual bond between you and another person. There you are. There you are. Tend to your spiritual connections and your spiritual bond, and grow with who is essential to your growth and evolution, and remain true to your nature. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just amazing? So beautiful guidance for this weekend. I wonder if we could get a timing card. I wonder if Spirit will give us any timing. Sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. Sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. Okay. Let us ask. Let us just ask. We'll ask the question. Okay, Spirit, can you give us a bit of a timing, some time? When would this be, this wonderful soulmate coming in for us? Can you tell us, please? Would that be okay? Please, can you tell us? Oh, no. Nope. Okay. What we got? Not in this lifetime, July and today. So, something about July, summertime. Interesting. 21, which is a 3. It says here today, 52. So maybe somebody here has just actually met somebody and you're listening to this today, and you might have been a little bit worried about something. It might be a very good confirmation for you. Remember, the end is always a beginning, and sometimes when we've ended something, we kind of feel like, you know, do I want to go back there? You know, even though you want it, it's like it gets presented. I think we read that it gets presented to you and you're kind of like, so don't think about the next thing. Don't think about anything else. Just think about your now and your feelings and how it is. And it says here, number 10, completion, cycle, not in this lifetime. So maybe there's something about, I'm just feeling not in this lifetime, is maybe this, I've put it down on top of the soulmate and higher power. You've never experienced something like this. Okay, so it's got to be something that is going to be really magical, really different, and they've closed off the deck. So those 3 cards were really important. Okay, really important. I'm not going to worry about the ones that have fallen on the floor. That's really important to understand. So this really just tells me that perhaps you've had lifetimes with this person, because it was about a higher power person that is, you know, really for your growth. And you've not had that experience yet. That's interesting. That's what I've just got. You haven't had the experience yet in this lifetime. So take what resonates, my friends. I hope that helps. Remember, a dream is, after all, a kind of plan. So have the courage. Just keep continuing. Keep going. We've got July and we've got today. So today, I feel like I'm saying to you, this is happening. And July, you might meet the person today, but by July, signed, sealed, and delivered. How about that? Shall we say that? Let me know. If you've enjoyed this, I'd really like a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe or make a note, I'd love to hear from you. But you have a great weekend. I'll see you soon.